OKC takes on the Suns, 2:30 p.m. Eastern tip-off. The Suns are the 5.5-point favorite. Totals 224 flat. The Thunder are plus a $1.80 to win this one outright. And if you like OKC to cover, they're minus 110, catching the 5.5. I'm 7-2 on my last 9 MLB tier premium sports picks on patreon.com/BrockPage. And if you want some more information on how you can access that premium content, link for that site is in the description section below. That's patreon.com/BrockPage. OKC's coming fresh off a solid 18-point victory over the Wizards. They held the Wizards to just 103 points in that contest. They also won 2 out of their last 3, including a dominating effort against the first-place Lakers in the West, and that was a final of 105-86. OKC's 8-2 straight up in their last 10 head-to-head meetings with the Suns, 70% against the spread during that stretch. OKC also ranks in the top 10 in offensive field goal percentage, top 10 in points allowed. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's averaging 19 a game, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Danilo Gallinari is also averaging 19 a night, along with 5 rebounds and a couple assists for him. Chris Paul's quietly averaging 18 a night himself, along with 5 rebounds and 6.8 assists, which actually ranks 16th in the league in that category. OKC's currently 17 games above 500, and they find themselves only 3 games behind the third place Nuggets in the standings. Now they are taking on a red-hot Suns team who still hasn't lost a game in the bubble. Having said that, though, the Suns' recent success still has them 8 games below 500 and in 11th place in the West. The Suns are also missing Baines and Oubre tonight. Okobo is also listed as questionable. The Suns are in the bottom 10 in offensive rebounding, bottom 10 in defensive field goal percentage. And one more thing to add about this Phoenix squad, kind of a weird stat, but these guys have been victorious in just 5 out of their last 20 meetings with a member of the Northwest Division. Now, total-wise, just 1 out of OKC's last 5 actually got over the total of 224 points. The Thunder's also 4-1 to the under in their last 5 conference matchups. Meanwhile, the Suns on the other side saw 3 out of their last 6 stay under the posted total themselves. Give me OKC plus 5.5 and the under 224 in that game. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the video. Got some lines and personal leans out for Monday's NBA basketball action. Happy Monday to you. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. We're going to go ahead to and look to get another great week started off here today. Now, before we dive into some more free content here on YouTube, I just have to quickly remind you once again that we are currently 7-2 in our last 9 MLB tier package plays on patreon.com/BrockPage. We're also 7-4 in our last 11 daily best plays on that site as well. That package goes for just $1.99, by the way. If you want some more information on how you can join in on the action, link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. Now, moving on, we got the Mavs taking on the Jazz, 3 p.m. Eastern start time. The Jazz are the 6.5-point favorite, numbers 228 and a hook. The Mavericks are plus 220 on the money line. And if you like the Mavs, plus 6.5, they're plus $1 to cover. Dallas's 2 big stars are currently banged up right now. Some sources have them listed as questionable. Others have them ruled as out. So we'll have to find out closer to the tip-off. And, of course, I'm referring to Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis, who their combined average is nearly 50 points a night. So those are 2 huge pieces. Now, Seth Curry's also listed as questionable. Finney Smith ruled as out as well. Now, the Mavs should cruise into the playoffs in that 7th seed, but they still haven't really been all that great against the number recently. Just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5. 30% ATS in their last 10. And even when they're healthy, this Mavs team really struggles with Utah. Just 2-8 straight up in their last 10 head-to-head meetings. 4-6 against the spread in that same category. And speaking of the Jazz, they've covered 5 out of their last 7 games versus the Southwest Division. They also currently rank in the top 3 in 3-point percentage, top 5 in defensive rebounding. Donovan Mitchell's scoring 24 a night along with 4 rebounds and 4 assists. Rudy Gobert also ranks 4th in the NBA in rebounds. That's 13.6 per night. Gobert is also scoring 15 a night as well. And of course, Mike Conley appears to be active tonight, and he's getting 15 a game along with 5 assists. The Jazz rank in the top 10 in points allowed and find themselves 16 games above 500 in 6th place in the West. Now, scoring-wise, Utah's last 3 straight got over the total of 228.5. The Jazz also went 70% to the over in their last 10 meetings with Dallas. 4 out of the Mavs' last 5 ball games got over the total of 228.5 themselves. Dallas is officially 42-30 to the over thus far in the season. Give me the Jazz minus 6.5 and the over 228.5 in that game. Next matchup. It's going to be a good one. Raptors Bucks, 6:30 p.m. East. The Bucks are minus 5.5. Totals 227.5. The Raptors are plus 180 on the money line. And if you like Toronto, plus 5.5, they're minus 105 to cover. Now the Bucks are coming off a 136-132 loss to the Dallas Mavericks in their last outing. Milwaukee's also lost 3 out of their last 4, including a 3-point loss to a depleted Brooklyn squad during that stretch as well. The Bucks are in the bottom 5 in free throw percentage. They're also in the bottom 10 in defensive rebounding. They're taking on a Raptors squad who beat Memphis in their last outing by the final of 108-99. The Raptors are currently 4-1 straight up in the bubble, and they've successfully covered the point spread in 7 out of their last 9. And of course, covering that number, that's good for bettors. Now, Pascal Siakam's averaging 23 a night, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Kyle Lowry's also dropping 19 a night along with 5 boards and 7.5 assists, which ranks 7th in the league. And of course, we can't forget the sharp shooting of Freddie VanVleet, who's scoring 18 a game along with 4 rebounds and 7 assists. The Raptors are currently in 2nd place in the Eastern Conference, just 4.5 games behind the Bucks for that top spot. Toronto ranks in the top 10 in 3-point percentage, top 3 in points allowed. Now, total-wise, the Raptors' last 5 straight in the bubble, all stayed under the total of 227.5. 6 out of their last 10 meetings with Milwaukee also stayed under the posted total. Give me the Raptors plus 5.5 and the under 227.5 in that game. Next matchup. Pacers, Heat, 8 p.m. Eastern tip-off. The Heat's minus 3, total 220.5. The Pacers are plus $1.20 to win it. And if you like Indiana to cover, they're minus $1.18 catching the 3. The Pacers have quietly gone 4-1 straight up in the bubble. And that includes a 5-point victory against the Lakers in their last outing. They also beat up on Philadelphia during that stretch as well, dropping 46 on the Sixers in the 4th quarter alone. The Pacers rank in the top 3 in offensive field goal percentage, top 5 in points allowed. They're also 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 head-to-head meetings with the Heat. TJ Warren's averaging 20 a game along with 4 rebounds. Malcolm Brogdon, he's scoring 17 a night with 5 rebounds and 7.1 assists per night, which ranks 11th in the NBA. Miles Turner's also grabbing himself 12 points a game along with 7 rebounds. The Pacers are in the top 5 in defending the 3-ball, and they've gone 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 against the Heat. And speaking of Miami, they're coming fresh off a 7-point loss to the Phoenix Suns in their last outing themselves. Now the Heat, they've lost their last 2 straight, along with 3 out of their last 4. Now, Dragic and Butler are questionable. Kendrick Nunn is out. Miami's just 33% against the spread in their last 9. They also rank in the bottom half of the league in offensive rebounding. Now, total-wise, the Heat's last 2 straight got over the total of 220.5. 7 out of their last 10 head-to-heads with the Pacers also got over the posted total. Meanwhile, Indiana on the other side, they saw 3 out of their last 5 get over the 220.5 themselves. The Pacers officially went 70% to the over in their last 10 regular season games as well. Give me the Pacers plus 3 and the over 220.5 in that contest. And we're going to slide into our next and final matchup for the show. It's going to be the Denver Nuggets versus the Los Angeles Lakers, 9 p.m. Eastern start time. The Lakers are the 5.5-point favorite. Total's 220 and a hook. The Nuggets are plus 180 on the money line. And if you like Denver to cover, they're minus 110, catching the 5.5. The Nuggets are coming fresh off a solid 134-132 victory over the Utah Jazz in their last outing. The Nuggets have also won 3 out of their last 4, including an 8-point victory over Oklahoma City. Nikola Jokic is averaging 20 a game, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. Will Barton's also scoring 15 per contest, along with 6 rebounds. Keep an eye on Barton, as he's currently listed as questionable for tonight's game. I did see a couple sources have him listed as out, so keep an eye on Barton. Now, the Nuggets are currently in 3rd place in the West and find themselves only 1 game behind the Clippers for that 2nd place spot. They're taking on a Laker team who's been rather disengaged as of late. They're coming fresh off a 116-111 loss to the Indiana Pacers, and they're currently on a 3-game losing streak. As a matter of fact, the Lakers have lost 4 out of their last 5, and they've covered the number in just 1 out of their last 7. Caldwell Pope's been ruled as out for tonight's game. Danny Green is questionable. Now, the LA Lakers, they are in the bottom 3 in free throw percentage, bottom 10 in shooting the 3-ball. And when it comes to the number in this one, 2 out of LA's last 3 stayed under the total of 220.5. 7 out of the Lakers' last 9 ball games also stayed under the official posted total. Meanwhile, on the Denver side, 6 out of their last 10 head-to-head meetings with the Lakers stayed under the number themselves. So with all that said and done, all that in mind, give me the Nuggets plus 5.5 in the under 220.5 in that game. And with that said, that's going to do it for me. Yeah, I'm done. Anyway, I forget my line. What do I say when I'm normally done? In that game. And with that said, all right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. And just keep in mind, if you were to decide to, I don't really remember what I'm saying today. I do this every single day for the last 5 years, and I don't remember what I normally say at the end of it. Patreon, don't forget to check me out on Patreon. If you do decide to sign up for a package here today, if you decide to sign up for a membership, just keep in mind, we bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So if you decide to sign up, you're going to get billed today on the 10th and then again on September 1st. And then following that, you get billed on the 1st of every month. So anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me. Got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Monday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.